Okay, just picture this for a second. You're in your car, but your hands are totally off the wheel. The car is doing everything, seeing the traffic lights, spotting pedestrians, navigating around other cars. It's making all those split-second decisions that you or I would make. I mean, it's absolutely incredible technology, right? But it really boils down to one huge fundamental question. So how in the world does a car actually learn to drive? It's not magic, not by a long shot. It's this really fascinating process of seeing, thinking, and then, learning. And that's exactly what we're going to break down right now, how an AI goes from knowing absolutely nothing to being a super competent driver. All right, so first things first, before a car can even think, it has to be able to see and hear what's going on around it. And, just like we use our eyes and ears to figure out where we're going, a self-driving car depends on its own set of really cool high-tech senses. Yeah, it all starts right here. The sensors. They are basically the car's eyes and ears. They're constantly just feeding it a stream of information about everything. But what are these senses? What are we actually talking about here? Okay, so you've got a few key players here. First up, cameras. These are the eyes, right? They see the roads, the signs, the people. Then you've got radar, which is awesome for figuring out how far away other cars are and how fast they're going, even if it's foggy or raining. And then there's LiDAR, which is a cool name for a system that shoots out laser beams to create this super detailed 3D map of the world around it. And of course, good old GPS to know its precise location. You put all that together and you get a really complete picture of what's happening. But, having all that data is just one part of the puzzle. Making sense of it all, that's the real challenge. And this is where we go from just seeing stuff to actually thinking. This is where the AI brain comes in. And this is a really, really important point. The sensors, they don't think. All they do is collect data. We're talking about a constant flood of images, numbers, points on a map, but they have no idea what any of it means. That's the job for the AI brain. Think about all the questions this AI brain has to answer, like every single second. Questions that we answer without even thinking about it. Is that a person about to step into the road, or is it just a pole? Is that light red, or is it green? The answer to each little question completely changes what the car does next, whether it stops, slows down, or keeps on going. So the whole decision-making flow looks something like this. Step 1. The sensors are just grabbing all that raw data. Step 2. All that info gets sent straight to the AI brain. Step 3. The brain gets to work, processing everything, figuring out, okay, that's a car, that's a bike. And finally, step 4, it makes a decision. Stop, go, turn left. And it sends that command right to the car's controls. So the big question is, how does this AI brain get so smart in the first place? Well, it doesn't just, pop into existence knowing how to drive. It actually has to go to school, kind of like us. Yeah, self-driving cars are absolutely not born smart. They have to be trained. Engineers do this by feeding the AI models millions, sometimes even billions of examples. And get this. Before a car ever hits a real street, its AI has already driven for countless hours in these super realistic computer simulations. That's where it can crash, make mistakes, and learn from them, all in a totally safe environment. Now, at the very core of this AI brain is something called a neural network. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a computer system that's modeled on our own human brain. Its whole purpose in life is to get really, really good at finding patterns in all that data it's seeing. And here's how it actually learns. It's a simple but powerful 4-step process. First, the network makes a guess. Okay, I think that's a stop sign. Then it checks to see if it was right or wrong. If it was wrong, it adjusts itself, kind of tweaking its own wiring to do better. And then it learns from that mistake. It does this over and over and over again, millions of times. Guess, check for an error, adjust, learn. It's that simple loop that builds this incredibly complex intelligence. But the classroom training, that's just the beginning. The learning doesn't stop in the simulation. Once the AI is good enough, it basically graduates and heads out into the real world. And that's where its education becomes a truly lifelong journey. And this, right here, might be the most powerful part of the whole thing. It's called shared learning. When one car on the road runs into something weird, say a crazy construction zone or a driver doing something totally unexpected, it doesn't just learn that lesson for itself. Nope, that experience gets uploaded, analyzed, and then the lesson is shared with the entire fleet. So one car's experience instantly becomes every car's experience. I mean, just think about the scale of that for a second. We're talking about thousands of cars, all out there driving at the same time. It's not like one person learning to drive over decades. It's thousands of cars on the road, 24/7, all feeding data back to one single collective brain. The system can learn and get better at a speed that a human just literally can't.
So, why does all this matter? Well, the goal here isn't to build a perfect driver. I mean, perfection is pretty much impossible on our crazy, unpredictable roads. The real goal, the big prize, is to make our roads safer. To create a driver that's way safer than the average human, which could mean dramatically fewer accidents and ultimately saving lives.
So the next time you see one of these cars cruising down the street, you'll know what's really going on under the hood. It's this nonstop, massive cycle of seeing, thinking, and learning. Because our roads are always changing, the weather's always changing, and let's be honest, people are always unpredictable. For these incredible machines, the learning truly never, ever stops.